You worked with 2Pac before.
Yeah.
You knew him to a certain degree.
Yeah, me and Pac was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about rappers trolling 2Pac to get on these days? Because Lil Xan, I remember the white kid with the tattoos on his face, he said what he said. And '03 Greedo said a few things. Mm-hmm. He's from Grape Street.
Right.
I actually just interviewed him. And I asked him about that.
The media did some tricky shit, right? And we was having an interview, and they like off the record, blah blah blah.
Oh, they said off the record.
And they pieced up like certain shit we talked about off the record, and mixed it with shit from before. But really, they said something about so many rappers in the interview, and they was like, "How do you feel about Lil Xan's comments on Pac?" And what I said was, why the fuck you keep asking me about all these other bitch ass niggas? Is this my interview, or is like, what the fuck, nigga? Go ask one of them reporters or these bloggers about some fucking rappers. Don't ask a rapper about rappers. It's exactly what I said. Mm-hmm. So then they were just like, Greedo calls 2Pac a bitch ass nigga.
Oh, but you weren't saying specifically about 2Pac.
No, I wasn't saying that. So then when people asked me about it, I was like, shit, if you want to know what's going on with, the details, you know what I'm saying?
He was just frustrated.
Yeah, he was just frustrated in the interview. Right. And then, but he also said, look.
Compton and Watts Crips don't really, we like the music, we just don't recognize 2Pac as a real street dude. So we don't have a certain respect for him that people that don't know us or him have. And then also it's just like, I'm from California, I'm a real one. I'm a real Crip, I'm a real trapper, I'm a stand-up guy, I never told, I never folded on no situation. I can't see myself trying to amount to someone who lived here for a year and turned on their hometown for whatever reason, and they came over here and stirred up some shit to where we couldn't even really fly to the East Coast like that. I remember that shit for sure.
No.
You don't think so?
Not at all. Not at all.
Well,
on a rap level,
the East-West beef.
Okay, on the rap level, I was finna get to that. Yeah. On a rap level, yeah, he caused a lot of friction. A lot of, internal hip hop conflict. But 2Pac wouldn't make no illusions like, I hate the whole East Coast, all y'all this, that, and other. He would, Jay-Z, Nas, Mobb Deep, whoever he was talking about, Puffy, Biggie, he would straight up, he'd give it to you.
Fair enough.
That.
And I remember Tretch, when I talked to him, when I interviewed him, he said that.
When you got that motherfucking Vibe magazine, right? Where you see Big and Puff on the cover, East versus West. When I saw that fucking cover, I said, man, what the fuck is going on? Gangsters don't read articles. Niggas on the East Coast like, yo, it's on. Wait till them West Coast niggas come out here. West Coast like, oh, it's on. Wait till them East Coast niggas come out here. So it baited up a whole shit that fucking went down that had just so many cycles of all Biggie followers and riders, all Pac riders, motherfuckers that didn't even know neither one of them, gangster ass motherfuckers. It could have really turned into a motherfucking East Coast, West Coast war.
I mean, I would say that's a fair assessment.
Right.
I'm very careful with what I title shit, and, I wouldn't jump to a conclusion of saying there's a war between two areas.
Right. But they were the two biggest, the two biggest labels that were popping at that time. So it's like Bad Boy could be representative of the East and Death Row could be representative of the West. And you could twist and spin the story like that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, a lot of people bit into it and a lot of people didn't. So I think it's more, what 03 was kind of like alluding to was the fact that we don't look at 2Pac the same out here as other people do, because even though we like his music and love him as a person and all that, we don't look at 2Pac as no gangster.
Yeah.
Like that. We don't look at him as no wild, crazy. Now, as a person he was, but he didn't start off as being no gangster. He didn't have roots
Well, yeah.
in gangsterism. You know what I'm saying? His roots was more in the revolution. You know what I'm saying?
And, and this is something I've talked to with the Outlaws directly on camera. Yeah, me and Edie are real cool. We talk all the time. And this is something that they addressed as well is, did Tupac die gangbanging? You know what I mean? Tupac ran up on Baby Lane, who was a known killer. You know
he was doing that as a death row artist.
You know?
I told you, I talked to Tray that night about that, about when it happened. We went out there to Vegas. You know what I mean? So, everything was still brand new and fresh. It wasn't like somebody telling me something that they heard 2 weeks ago. This was the guy who was right there and told them, there go that fool that snatched my chain. And his reaction is like, these my boys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my boys. He gave it up for it. The living guy in L.A., he gave it up for a lot of them dudes.
You knew the guy who got his chain snatched? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the Compton guy? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. He was part of Death Row?
Yeah, he was. He was like one of their little hitters. He was going to be coming. He was up and coming. He can rap too. He had
okay, so he was an up and coming rapper.
Yeah, but I don't think they had put him in that arena yet to be a rap. But he was trying to let them know. I got bars. Meantime, 20 time. I'm here as a homie. I ride with the homies. He was connected with a lot of the security on Death Row. So he was a little homie out the hood that they brought onto Death Row to ride with him.
Well, he was given a chain though. Mm-hmm. And it was his chain.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So he must have
He was part of Death Row. He was part of the Death Row squad.
He was part of Death Row.
He hadn't really made no music up to that point. You know what I'm saying?
So why would you give someone a chain who hasn't made any music yet?
You're part of the squad. You know what I'm saying? Certain security cats probably had
chains
Death Row
too?
chain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But they're actually on payroll though.
Yeah, I think he was on payroll.
He was on payroll.
Yeah, I think he was.
Doing what?
Whatever he needed to do, little young homie, getting it in.
Okay.
I don't know his job description. I knew him from us talking and seeing each other a few times.
Okay.
I know he was active in the streets.
Okay.
And,
there you go.
We talked a couple of times about music.
He's right there in the MGM with Tupac, Suge, and all the rest of the guys. And he taps Tupac and said, there's the guy.
No, I think he leaned over and told Suge or whoever we were sitting with,
Oh, he told Suge first.
I'm saying they was all sitting together. So he was telling his homies right there, like, there go dude that snatched my chain. You know what I'm saying? We finna go with that or whatever. And, Tupac just took it upon himself to hop up and get the loking out and, all that. And they had to, like, restrain him as the story goes or whatever. And then it spilled out into the lobby after the fight was over.
Right, so this was more of a Death Row thing. It wasn't a Crip Blood thing.
Well, it was a Crip Blood thing because the Crip snatched the blood chain.
Yeah.
And being that it was Compton, it was right nearby, it was, it's like it went up in Compton.
You see how this is now gang related.
But he didn't react from being no gang member. He react because these is my boys right here, and my boy got his chain snatched. So if we going up, we going up. Let's go.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing it like, oh, what blood? He did what? He wasn't embedded like that. Not when I met him and, and not the times that I talked to him and did music afterwards and, been in the same venue, House of Blues and Soul Train Awards and all that. Tupac never, he never had no khaki suit on and, red rag tied on his head, all that. I never saw that with Pac.
I mean, it's a shame because ultimately, from every person I've talked to, on and off camera, they've all said that this was the situation that led to him getting killed shortly later. Mm-hmm. That him jumping Orlando is what caused the retaliation, which ultimately ended his life at the age of 25, was it?
Yeah.
And all the body of work that would have continued and the political aspect of it.
Oh, I think I'm like I said,
him growing mature, having kids, leaving the wild shit behind, building his money up. doing foundations. Yeah, we missed out. We missed out a lot from Tupac being gone.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't dispute that. Definitely wish he hadn't left, you know.